I had it down. I had renew, I had expansion, I had evolve. And then the more I started talking about it with two additional of our co-hosts that we'll be using this year, Lisa and Shelby, we started, they're very good friends of mine. They know me well. And they're like, honestly, expansion encompasses all of that. Because I've already, renewed. I used last year to renew and figure out what was important. I've evolved in figuring out, okay, where do I need to focus? So expansion is, let's just take the things I'm focusing on and grow them. Let's grow the relationships. Let's grow the experiences. Let's grow the adventures. Let's grow the business. Let's grow the finances, all that stuff.
I like that.
That was the expansion. So it was cool. Like, the more you start thinking about it, and this is what, for those of you guys, I've seen a lot of people post their word. And honestly, the word is the new Year's resolution, because people stop making resolutions because they know they break them.
Yeah.
So it's like a theme. Now, I know, I totally get that some people don't have it, and that's fine. That's cool. If you don't want to have a word, you don't have to have a word. I'm cool with that. But if you have one, make sure that the word applies to every area of your life. Personal, professional, financial, relationship, spiritual, all of that. So it's whatever if your word is consistency, does it apply to everything?
Yeah, I still think so, because, consistently showing up for others, being there. Sometimes I'm really good about calling my family, and then I'll go weeks and they're like, I haven't heard from you. But again, that's because I go back to, I let something distract me.
Yes.
And so being consistent despite those distractions.
Maybe it's focus.
Focus is good.
Well, I don't have to think on your word. I mean, I typically say, have a few. I mean, I had a few, and then I kind of ran them through two of my close friends and said, what are you feeling? What are you seeing? And that's kind of where I got that from. But it's really interesting. We've got a lot of things. Let's see. We've got some questions here.
Jose has a good question.
Oh, very good, Jose. Do you guys think being alone brought awareness to some? Oh, 1,000,000% yes.
Yep.
Because here's the thing is, you can't. That was a great question, because you can't really, if you're busy all the time. And I was guilty of this. I was that's kind of the thing with me, and what my friends and clients have all said. I run 1,000,000 miles an hour, and it was unusual for me to have that much alone time, because especially at the beginning of the pandemic, and even towards the end, my kids were with their dad. And, Sean and I have a good relationship where we can, it just depends on our schedules, where we can send them back and forth. And they were with him. And so I was by myself. So I went from going, what do they say? Balls. You hate to say it. Can we say balls to the wall? But I went from just going that 1,000,000 miles an hour all the time to just having time. And it caused me to focus for sure. I mean, I was very aware of what was working and what wasn't. I was aware of what I was spending time on that I didn't really want to be. So for me, it was, what the heck do I need to get rid of that's not serving me anymore?
Even our money.
Yeah.
Like, it made us realize, no, really, you can be happy with less.
Yes. I just did that yesterday. I went through and pulled out, Laura, who's watching, is on the board of a great organization here in Atlanta called the Drake House. And I actually texted her yesterday, because I was like, I have all these clothes that are professional women, and their organization works with a lot of homeless and displaced women, and I was like, I want to get rid of them, because I'm sitting here going, there's so much stuff. And I actually, surprisingly for what people would probably think, I don't have a lot of clothes. Like they're all black, but I don't have very many. But I started going through, I was like, I don't need these, and there's somebody that needs these way more than I do. And so it's, you do start, it does bring awareness to everything, how you're spending your money, how you're spending your time. Because, money, you can make more money. All of us can make more money. Time you can't get back. So I think it's interesting. The awareness was a thing, and that's where it starts. Where, for me, I was very blessed in 2020 that I was able to use this time, and I did choose to use the time to bring awareness.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think if people aren't doing that, if they didn't use the year, I think that's where it starts. Is figuring out what you need to pay attention to.
That's also part of what could make last year so hard.
Yeah.
Is that going through all that and not learning anything from it, or taking something with you into the new year.